And greetings, my dear fantasistas. Welcome back. And let's discuss Group B. Group A was, as expected, Navi not doing as good as majority of people thought, but I was right. The results are quite bad. Simple is not in form. Spirit could have played a little bit better, but is what it is. Ninjas, eh. And Vitality, well, um, despite that Spinks kind of got me into top 4%. I believe I should have listened to my inner self and just went for Zaiwu, because I thought that Spinks might not get as many frags, and he's not playing as much as a carry as we expected. But it is what it is. Still, decent result, top 4%. And if anyone's curious, then this is how it went. Wonderful, got some decent points. Spinks over 100. Okay, Nico, alright. Crims got some decent points as well. And Dupree, well, as expected. Nothing too ridiculous. Boost the game didn't really play well, but still, like, top 4%, 15 points is good enough. So, now let's try to get myself into 10 per event points. So, for this event, I believe I need to get into another top 4%, or preferably into top 3. So, with that said, with everyone having more or less the same teams, right? Let's kind of dig in and think of the results what's gonna happen. So, Face Clan, first game against Portugal, mm, probably easy 2-0. Probably Brokey gonna destroy everyone, right? Because he's playing very aggressive, especially against the players like this. CT side, he's just gonna run around and make some some multi frags. Second game against MIBR. MIBR currently played an online event. If I'm right, they won the event, or might be wrong. Whatever. I believe they did. So let me see. Yep. They actually won the event against one win. And if we look, it was kind of performing. Then Henny was doing good. Exit was doing good. So if you're considering going for MIBR, right, as a dark horse, then these are your players. Also, we can have a look at some other games who was also shine, let's say, against Kiev and against Monte, which was a surprise for me. I expected more from Monte, but against Kiev, first it's quite easy. Also, like, everyone played quite decent, but still, like, Exit, okay. Henny is kind of turning into a star, what we all expected him to be, right? Again, Henny is consistent in a good form. Exit is also doing quite well. So if we look at the prices, Exit is 195k, which is a decent price. Jota, for his price, is underperforming, as we can see in those games, right? We've seen 3 games, he was not even close to the top. Against Strict, let's see what happened against Strict. And Henny again, right? And Jota again, like, this price is unjustifiable at all for this player, right? If if Henny was about that price, okay, I would be okay with it. So yeah, so just for example, let's try to put the team, these 2 players, right? Let's try Kerrigan, and maybe we even can try to add someone like Brokey, and we're still gonna have like 190k, which means JKS. Great. What if we try get this? Huh, interesting. So for my Brazilian friends, MIBR is a very good option, especially if Henny is going to perform exactly the same way, or if we're considering him as a filler, right? 208k for filler is quite a lot, but I assume he's playing the op, so technically we can go for someone like Crops, and on the other side we can go for Hunter, JKS. Quite decent, exactly the money. So yeah, so there are some good options with some MIBR players, I guess. Um, in terms of MIBR performance, I don't believe they're gonna beat FaZe. However, they might beat G2, right? So FaZe against outsiders, this is my biggest question because I'm kinda on a side where I believe that outsiders have a really good chance to go through. I I think of them exactly the same as I thought about Fnatic, right? We don't really know what to expect from them. All we know that they're practicing. Um, Flit is always stable. Um, James is practicing a lot. He's doing some streams. Off stream, he's practicing as well a lot, a lot, a lot. Um, some other players like Kickert, he's just been a decent filler for almost every single team. Also on the other side, we have Fame. That is like top one, top two aimer on the Faceit at the moment. Right, that has the best stats. And Norbert is like uh, we I expected him to kind of turn into a monster after moving to outsiders, but at the moment it's a bit underwhelming, right? So my consideration is that Fleet probably gonna do well, and let's say I have to go for James this in this one, and who can we go with, right? With my expectations of FaZe still top in the group, right? I believe that outsiders can outclass them, right? But probably FaZe still gonna have the slight edge, right? In terms of FaZe G2, FaZe should be beating them. FaZe BAG, I would say it's the same situation with the outsiders and BAG, right? They both can technically surprise and go for the third or maybe second place, right? Or maybe both gonna go for second and third, right? And G2 just gonna bomb out. You never know, especially since we don't really expect much from Hooksy, right? And we don't know how much preparation they've done in that time, right? Especially since they had some traveling issues again, right? Also, FaZe just arrived today for the location, right? So it's kind of questionable on what kind of form they're gonna be like in the first game, right? When on the side of FaZe, they're gonna be facing Portugal players, right? Which is okay. They should be beating them like even after the jet lag, most likely. When G2 is playing against MIBR, MIBR in decent form, so I'm not considered that G2 gonna win or maybe easy win, right? And then they play against BIG next day, so it's gonna be also a hard game. And only after that they have like a easy game against Portugal players, and then FaZe again and outsiders, right? So I'm really worried about G2 in this group, right? It's like if they were playing like the Portugal players like straight away, okay, that would be one thing, right? Or maybe if they had the game against, I know, against big or outsiders, so they would be like fully prepared, and then they kind of like have a time to build up a little bit more, right? They get straight into the competitive game, but against MIBI, it's like they don't know what to expect, right? So this game is going to be quite a surprise for me, right? Uh, if we're talking about outsiders, right? What team can we build around them, right? Since we have Jame and Flit, probably we don't really need a sniper, or maybe we can use Jame as a primary sniper, then we can get Brokey, and most likely Kerrigan, and then we have 183k, which leaves us with the FTV, no thank you, and JKS. So yeah, as always, JKS the savior. We're not going for our double IGL kind of stuff that I hate. We're not really going for like the bad IGL, but we're still going for the IGL, going for James, right? But James' style is kind of not really like being the classic IGL, which just goes first, dies, and whatever, right? He's more like a clutchy IGL, like Fallen style. So, and especially with his stats, right? 206k in potentially top two team in the group, I think it's justifiable. Also, in this stage, it's kind of, I know, 50-50 bet in these two players because Flit is one of the aggressive players. And let's say if it's going to be a Stomp game, that Flit should be like gain loads of frags, yeah? If it's not going to be a Stomp game, then James with his like late clutches and like outplays and everything, because he's like staying alive and everything. So he's gonna get decent stats, right? So it's like balanced pick over here. But on the other side, on FaZe Clan, right, we have two aggressive players and JKS, which is playing some decent positions in G2, right? Um, and for this price, he's extremely underrated. So this team, in my opinion, makes like loads of sense, right? Then about G2, as I already said, yeah, I'm worried about their performance, right? I hope they still like get through as like third team, but I'm not gonna be surprised if they don't qualify at all, right? Because Navi were at that age, right? But G2 have even bigger fluke potential, right? I hope I'm wrong, but this is how it looks for me, right? So FaZe WW 50-50, okay, not 50, 60-40, but still most likely a W against G2. I don't see the way G2 can beat current FaZe in current form. Especially it's gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth game, and they're gonna be kind of warmed up. They're gonna be full ready, especially if there's something gonna go wrong against outsiders. They will have to like work on full power to beat G2, and then it's gonna be BAG game, which also gonna lead to probably no real competitive game because like most likely everything is gonna be decided after first 3 games. But still, there is still a possibility that FaZe will need W. Like technically, FaZe can win here, then lose against outsiders. Something can go wrong and they can lose against G2, whatever, and then they will have to beat BAG. So BAG are in very unfortunate scenario with those type of games because they have outsiders straight away. It's a 50-50 game. Anyone can win, right? Especially the map pool is kind of close, right? If we have a look at the map pool, we're gonna see Vertigo. We're gonna see what else? We're gonna see. Okay, BAG not really enjoying this, but we see Dust 2. We see Vertigo. Like okay, don't really have much data on Vertigo, but still, like Overpass is also decent for both maps. Nuke, we're not gonna see Nuke because permaban. Ancient is also an option. Like Mirage, I don't I don't think that big should be gambling on Mirage, especially with this type of rate, right? So in general, like they playing against EG, losing against them, like winning against FaZe. Probably it's an option, right? But like still playing Mirage against CIS players is just a suicide squad mission. Then we're gonna go towards outsiders, which I believe have the best upset potential out of every single group, right? Like Fnatic were like a dark horse, but let's be honest, in a situation where you have Endpoint, which now they managed to lose, and you have NIP, which are in very bad shape, like nobody knows what's happening over there. They definitely need changes, and in my opinion, they don't need just one change; they need two. Res, Brolin, and Hampus, they're gonna stay together, right? They're not going anywhere. However, Ezitag and Plopsky, two candidates to get out. And I'll be honest, I'm not gonna be surprised if I'm gonna see Plopsky leaving first and then Ezitag just filling up whatever he needs. Yeah, most likely they're just gonna get Opa, but what Opas are available at the moment for them? Not really much. No, they kicked him. Who else? Like the Complexity Opa just signed the contract with them, so he's not leaving anywhere. So it's like they don't really have that many. Jaquinho not ready for this type of competition. Who else do we have there? Draken. I don't think that there's a point for him to leave his team. Maybe there is a point, unless something is going wrong in the team, and he's getting like a decent contract, and the team is getting good compensation. Perhaps it is a point, but in general, I don't see it. So yeah, getting back to outsiders, I would go like mostly for outsiders on this side. Then this game should be also outsiders. FaZe against outsiders. That's interesting game in which I believe FaZe still have a slight advantage. But if we look at the map pool, we're most likely going to see Inferno. And Nuke is going to be permaban from outsiders. Then FaZe is probably one of those teams that can actually conquer and play Mirage against any of the teams. And then most likely it's going to be Ancient as a decider. Unfortunately for outsiders, it's not really like the best map pool, right? I believe that outsiders can try and go for the Dust 2 pick, but I'm still not really considering that it's like the best option, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see Mirage from FaZe, then outsiders picking Dust 2, and then Inferno being a decider, right? But anything can happen. Or any of those three maps, right? I'm pretty sure two of those maps we're going to see 100%, right? And unless outsiders surprise us with 2-0, it's going to be really, really hard to kind of get them a W, right? And then MIBR outsiders should be beating them unless they go 3-0 by this point and like, there's some sort of upset happening. MIBR still potentially can upset anyone and even go like third in this group or maybe even second. Because let's see the consequence. Okay, they play in the G2 first. They can upset. Then they play in FaZe, which I don't see them getting even close. Then they play in BIG, which is potentially a W for them. Then outsiders also potentially they can fight for this one, and then against FTV. Mm, I feel very bad for Portuguese players. I doubt that they're gonna get like in double digits on any of the maps. It's just that have a competition at the moment. Maybe against MIBR they have a chance, right? But against other teams, I don't. So for my German friends, so your team is overpriced, hell overpriced, but you can go for Crimbo, and we can hope that Tapson is not gonna do pretty bad and just get everything on track, right? Balance this, we can go for Rain, and since we don't really have a sniper over here, right, depending on who you believe more, but I believe more into Broky, and again, right, JKS is the savior, right? On the other side, if we want to go for potential carry, yeah, then we can expect Searson to play well, and Crimbo is just too good of a price from these type of players. Then on the other side, we have Kerrigan, and again, right, we have to probably consider Twist and Kerrigan. So these are your options for kind of going for gambling on big, right? And in my opinion, the gamble that makes most sense, especially since we don't really see Nico as most pick player, right? With JKS, Kerrigan, and most likely with Broking, but then we don't really have money. So fortunately, we will have to go for probably ropes. Yeah. And in this case, we will have to play without the sniper and have to gamble either on Turtle or Kickert. And if we pick between these two, then most likely it's going to be Kickert. And this is your gamble, right? You don't really have double IGL. If you believe that G2 can actually win, right? Then probably Nico is the carry that you have to go for, right? Especially under 230k. This is decently pricing for Nico, right? So this is an option. However, if any of you enjoy Hunter's play together with JKS, it's also a great option. In this case, you can go for Brokey, Kerrigan, and then you have 200k split. Also, my MIBR enjoyers, Exit, as we just discussed, he's in good shape, so he's a very good option. So you kind of have one IGL, carry, secondary carry, support player, and one of the best players on MIBR, right? Which in case of MIBR, like surprising everyone and going like third, right? Probably gonna have a really good strat, really good rating. And for my silver edition enjoyers, right? There aren't really many options for us, yeah. Uh, Fortunately, we have to skip rain, and we kind of have to double up on this, right? This is my silver enjoyer and complete gambler edition, right? Sniper, support, secondary carry, kind of filler player, and hunter. Maybe out of nowhere carry, whatever. Maybe he can surprise, right? But this team is basically a delusional version of okay, let's just expect that FaZe gonna shit the bed or whatever, and these teams miraculously gonna win, right? If something like this happens, here we go. Okay, with that said, uh, let me rebuild my team, right? So I believe that Brokey is gonna just farm points in this group really, really hard. Kerrigan, because I believe that FaZe is gonna win, right? And Kerrigan is kind of slowly getting back in shape and everything, right? So he's worth picking. Then on the other side, I'm picking JKS because he's just the best priced player. And as I said already, I believe that Outsiders is the team that most likely going to surprise us, right? I hope it's not going to be a surprise with the going 0-5. I hope it's going to be a surprise going like 4-1, right? Finishing second. And I believe that Jame and Flit are the players that will bring Outsiders the W. So this is my team. Roles as usual. Sniper on Jame, Flit as defender, support on JKS, leader on Kerrigan, and Brokey multifragger, because I don't really think he will be using the op that often, right? Only in the big games, and in the majority of the times, Brokey is just too good, too good. Potentially top 5 player this year, right? With all this said, see you when I see you, and take care.